Hello, everybody. We're back for the final game, final match of the tournament here.
Right, it's myself, Sternhund, versus Caster.
Caster on Star Station for the first game. Who picked this map?
I think I picked this map, and Caster told me to pick, so I was like, okay.
All right. So why did you pick this map?
4 players, and it's on ladder.
So big map
Big map, yes. I like big maps typically. Um,
gives you a chance to make stuff.
yeah, making stuff that's a good thing to do. So we've got myself, orange in the top right. We got purple Caster in the bottom left. So cross position, and yeah, these are actually a pretty interesting set of games, I think.
Does
Um,
this map do any like both on top or both on bottom?
I think so. I think every player is like equidistant from each other for the most part. Um, Actually, no, I'm not sure if it does. Like, I don't think I've ever seen both on top or both on bottom. But well, whatever.
Right. So here you are. You got your Overlord going, and you've got so far just building drones and
Right. I feel
Caster down
like
there, probes.
this Overlord here was a mistake. This Overlord should be going over here because he's running in to scout a natural expansion instead of a main base. So, he messed up. But Gaster's sending an early scout. This is kind of interesting. Like he made a pylon and is immediately scouting. And I guess since it's such a large map, um, he's decided not to go with the standard like 12 gate that we saw in like other games. But that might just also be his, like the thing he does against Zerg.
Right, just
That
a little bit faster because you never know what's coming.
right. So he's finally pulling a probe out to make it looks like a forge. He scouted that my pool was not an early pool, so he's totally safe to like continue macroing up and
Right. But meanwhile, it's Caster, and he's going to go Forge Fast Expand against Zerg.
yeah, that's probably the smartest thing to do, especially on like a larger map like this. And it's kind of interesting. Like I mean, he sees me expanding and late pooling, so he's actually going for a Nexus before a gateway, and I'm not
And he does.
right. And I'm not sure, like, I always kind of felt like maybe my Protoss is way off, but I always felt like they went, like, Gateway or a Cannon and then Nexus, but whatever.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't he go Nexus first if you're not coming at him?
Yeah, you're right. Um,
And I mean, and that's what scouting's all about, really, when it comes down to it. A lot of people, they don't scout, so they don't see what's coming, and then they get mad
right.
that you somehow.
Did some, or predicted what they were going to do. But yeah, so, looks like I'm putting down a third base in just a moment, and Caster's probe just barely misses these Zerglings.
Right now, why did you feel comfortable putting down the third base? Just thinking that he's probably going to Forge Fast Expand, or because you haven't
Um,
scouted him yet.
Right. I mean, in my experience, like Protoss will usually struggle very hard to do a really good early aggress, so I can almost always get the third base up safely. And even if they do an early aggression, like I can almost always get the third base up anyway, unless they're just doing like a straight 2 gate Chrono Boost out Zealots, and then I might lose the third base, but at that point it doesn't matter because that in person the Protoss player invested so much. So
Let's see.
So yeah, it looks like Caster's looking macro game overall with the early expand. He's getting a Cybernetics core with the gateway. Um,
Looks like you paused.
yeah, I discovered my hotkeys were off. There's this map called like Battleships or something, and it wants you to change your hotkeys to do it. And so I was hitting like the spacebar to like I use the spacebar to jump between my bases so I can do queen injects.
Ah,
And it was telling me like research is completed and stuff like that instead of like sending me to my base. So I was really confused. I was like, oh wait, but
right. You're supposed to just be able to like put all your queens on a single hotkey and then like hit the queen hotkey and then the larva inject button, and then on the mini map just tap the big square that's supposed to be your.
oh, for real.
Yeah, and then what'll happen is it's supposed to make the closest queen go to that one. So as long as you have a queen there,
It's
it'll
gonna
just
advance,
inject.
right? That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll start practicing that. So, Kester putting down 2 more gates. He's got a lot of zealots, or 3 zealots at the moment. Putting 3 more gates behind that. So, what's that? A 6th gate?
That is 6 gates off 2 base. And then a seventh one coming up here.
So, it would have been really smart of me to start sending this Overlord Scout in there, so I can at least get a feel for what's going on. I'm not sure if I know what's going on at the moment, based on what I've scouted, which is just the front
No.
door. So,
And what's really cool about this map is there's all this space kind of back behind his base. So like, I mean, what he's doing now is he's putting all of these over here in this kind of middle area. So you'll have to actually, if you were to normally go across, you'd have to go all the way across this expanse.
oh
But
yeah,
here you could actually go down and around and then kind of sneak up in the middle and see what he's got going on. And here he's moving out.
right. And I guess I haven't done a very good job of scouting because I was still droning. I just now spotted the mothership core moving out. If the mothership core moves out, I think that's a good sign that there's some dedicated aggression going on, as opposed to just like saying a few zealots to like harass you a little bit and then
Right.
continuing. And those are a lot of units.
It is. It's quite a few units. And you've got
Quite
not
a
a
few
lot.
units. And
However, you
literally
do have
just
this
a few.
third base up, and looks
Right.
like you've got several units inbound.
And those force fields are extremely good, just like narrowing that choke between the zealots and the zerglings. And yeah, we can quickly see, if you look at the army tab, the army of Castor is just immense in comparison.
That's probably one of the big mistakes I make, is I'll always like shoot off this huge round of drones and realize that I should have made a huge round of not drones.
Right, yeah. And I think, do I even have Roach Tech yet? Yes, I do. So, thing is, with all those zealots, zerglings are just going to get obliterated, and with all those stalkers, the roaches are going to get obliterated. So it's just like, you just produce so much so fast.
That's the problem I always have with a push like this. It's exactly that thing. Like, the zealots are going to be in front of the stalkers, and they're going to get your zerglings.
Right.
And then the stalkers do so well against roach. So it always feels like gateway versus, or first tier versus first tier. Protoss always has the advantage, unless your micro is like insane.
I think, like, unit by unit, that's true, but I think the advantage that Zerg has is that they can more quickly produce and outnumber. So if I knew that this harass was coming, I could have outnumbered this army very easily with the larvae mechanic. But again, I wasn't able to spot the aggression until it was already like right there at the doorstep. So
Right.
as far as what I could have done, I could have put like another lane here. He already killed that lane, but put another one there. I could have sent this Overlord to scout.
Right.
There's a lot of things that could have been done, but this was basically came down to lack of scouting on my part, and then Castro like abusing that extremely well by creating like a giant army. So, all right, that's game one.
All right. Well, let's see what happens in game 2.
Okay.